Well, hello, my beautiful Aquarians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career and money reading for the end of December 2024, right through the end of January 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Aquarians, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. But just to make you aware, there is one rogue card in this deck. It's different from all the other ones. It is meant to be there. It's not a mistake. It's a very unusual card, and not everyone gets that card. But I thought I'd let you know about it before I start to shuffle, just in case you start to wonder, okay? So let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aquarians? What do they need to know regarding their money situation and their career? Please show them for their highest good. What are they meant to be aware of at this time? Can you please guide my beautiful Aquarians? What are they meant to be knowing at this time regarding the next 6 weeks? The first card there we have is the book. So a lot of you could be gaining new knowledge over the next coming weeks. Some of you may already have booked yourself on a course of learning that is going to be truly beneficial to open you up to a different pay grade in 2025. Some of you may also be gifted a book that helps you kind of strategize when it comes to either running your own business or perhaps, it is about the industry that you're in some way. I feel it's definitely going to be very informative, but the majority of you, I can see already, you're going to be really busy as usual over the next 6 weeks. I mean, there is a period of rest there is what I see for some of you, but I feel like you're going to be business as usual, focusing on being productive, keeping things running smoothly, paperwork, contracts, filing, emails, phone calls, that sort of thing. I feel like you're just going to keep whatever it is that you are doing running smoothly. That's what I see there. Also, I see that you're trying to follow your heart on some sort of project. And I feel that, there is actually something being offered to you. I feel this is a very curious, explorative time for you. New ideas, a lot of inspiration over the next 6 weeks. Some of you will actually start a new project that will yield really beneficial results as well. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, this could be that you're diversifying and trying to branch out in some way and try something new, something exciting there that you want to move ahead with. And when you launch this, because I feel like you're doing it from the bottom of your heart, you're putting your whole heart and soul into this, it is going to be very lucrative indeed. I feel a lot of financial potential around this idea. But ultimately, the next 6 weeks for a lot of you there, look, we've got the 4 of Swords there, and we've got the Death card. So this can indicate that you're trying to navigate some changes in your industry, and we'll tap into those in a moment. But I feel a lot of you very exhausted. 4 Swords indicates you definitely need some rest there. I feel like you have been on the go, and pretty much on a soul level, you're exhausted. I know you're, working really hard in your career, but also outside factors have really taken its toll on you emotionally, physically, mentally. I just feel like it's been a lot in 2024, and I feel you're so glad that 24 is over. Now, don't get me wrong, some of you have experienced a lot of really positive experiences, and I feel, there's been a lot of accomplishments there because you've got the King of Swords there, which means you're a real pro at what you do, and I feel, you've maintained a certain position in your career, and I feel a lot of people actually look up to you, but you're strategically thinking about the next steps. So I feel a lot of you are like, okay, let's get this done and dusted, let's move into 2025 and put new plans into motion. Now, for some of you, of course, if you've just come to this reading and you're currently out of work, whether you lost your job through redundancy, or if you have walked away from something that was toxic, or perhaps a contract came to its natural cycle end. I definitely see here that you will hear, because I feel it's communication that comes in, of a new role, and you will step into this role in 2025. Okay, so I feel the end of the year, it kind of feels like you're slowing down and you're keeping your eyes peeled, thinking about, for some of you, a course correction, because that Page of Swords there can indicate that you are interested in the same sort of industry that you're in, but you want to migrate your skills either into a different sector, or you're going to hear of a role that kind of opens you up to new skills. Okay, so I feel like you migrate whatever it is that you have, but I feel, there is a new option available to you. Some of you, there is an energy, okay, and I'm going to pull some cards on it, because right now the Knight of Pentacles is in the resistance position, so there will be more money offered in this new role. But for some of you, not all of you, you may go to a new opportunity where it feels very much like a lower status than where you were at, but it actually pays a lot more money. So there's something in and around that. I don't see apprenticeship energy. What I see here more than anything is you kind of like branching out, or having some sort of new opportunity where there is a change in status, but it opens new doors. And as you move through this role in 2025, you will staircase really quickly to the next stage. So I feel like you're drawn to it because you can learn new things, but also that there's more money available. Okay, so that's coming through there. I feel there's one opportunity coming in, and I feel it comes in just on the cusp. Either you hear about it or see about it or apply for it just before the year is out, but I feel it doesn't start moving ahead until the beginning of 2025. Okay, so that's what's coming in there for you all. And with a lot of respect and love, I'm going to disconnect from that energy. Some of you, if you're in a role and you are currently putting your resume out there to find new opportunities, I definitely see one coming on in. But again, I feel it doesn't really materialize until 2025. I mean, of course, we're winding down the year, so you don't probably need me to tell you that, but that's the energy I've got coming through. Your first card there is the Book. Now, this is your protagonist energy, which tells me that you are very knowledgeable at what you do. And because it's partnered with the King of Swords there, this can indicate that you are a brilliant thinker. You have incredible ideas. You articulate your needs in a healthy way. You are leadership material. And some of you, if you're an entrepreneur already, I definitely see you implementing a new idea here that will transform everything, the way that you work, but also your finances there as well. And also give you more time off for you is what I see there. So some of you may be like negotiating better deals for yourself if you work for a company, for example. But if you are an entrepreneur, I definitely see here that you may change your schedule in 2025 and work smarter, not harder, okay? Now, if you work for a company, I see some of you being offered an opportunity to upskill. So this could be a new course of learning or some sort of course that is an asset for you long term. And it could be something that actually helps you in what you're doing at the moment, but it may help you if you're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur and using your knowledge to set up on your own. A lot of you are actually thinking about being an entrepreneur or being a maverick and, being your own boss, because the King energy indicates, either promotion vibes for a lot of you out there, but I see the majority of you are thinking about running your own show, as it were. That's what I'm getting here. But I mean, we have the book, which means there's going to be paperwork, contracts, learning as you go, writing, taking a class, education, and law. Now, with the King of Swords, this indicates that you're going to be very productive over this time, very organized. So a lot of you may actually go and finish things that perhaps you've put on the back burner, things that you've been meaning to get round to, but haven't had the opportunity to, whether that's filing or organizing things, organizing your drawer or, your computer, all the folders and things. It's almost like you're trying to set yourself up for 2025. I feel like, yes, very productive, tying up loose ends, but also this card is like, what do you visualize for the future? So this is you in the planning stages of something. Now, for a lot of you, you may feel that you've hit a certain plateau in your industry. Even if you're an entrepreneur, there's something that you're doing really well. You're going to do more of that in 2025. But also, I feel like you want to add more strings to your bow so that you can actually keep things interesting for yourself. I see that you're bubbling up with new ideas there, being very inspired. Also, I see a lot of you digging around for knowledge. So if you are thinking about running your own business, it could be that you are trying to find a way to legally kind of set up your entity, or contact someone who knows how to do that structure legally for you. For some of you, it could be that you're outsourcing some of your accounts to an accountant, or perhaps you are delegating to a PA, or even thinking about outsourcing to like a digital kind of service at some point in the near future regarding being more organized. So it could be that you enlist some sort of app or new software program that helps you with your diary or something like that, especially if you're an entrepreneur. But if you work for a company, you could hear of some new technology coming in that you're going to have to train in that will help you be more efficient at what you do. Now, swords are all about the ether. So I feel if you are connected to the internet in any shape or form regarding your industry, I feel things are going to be very beneficial for you, and you'll go from strength to strength there. Even if you're not, and it's something that's more hands-on that you do, I see some of you actually deciding to film it, frame it, as it were, because you've got the frame card there. Some of you may actually, record whatever it is that you do, so it's some sort of knowledge, and you may put it online to help other people learn what it is that you do. Maybe they want to follow in your footsteps. They want to learn from you. Some of you may write a book or, some sort of blog. You may even do a course of learning yourself and put it on the internet so that it actually pays money. It could be that it's a passive stream of income that helps you whilst you still do what you do. So right now, this is not a specific reading because there's so many energies out there, but sometimes my guides will really pinpoint something there, and it will be something that really resonates with someone. But right now, like, I'm seeing like a tractor, and I'm being given this energy of like someone who runs a farm, for example, or perhaps it means, working with the earth. Doesn't mean that just because there's a tractor there that you actually work on a farm. It could be that you actually move things that are quite heavy, construction work. I mean, the tractor, it could indicate that you're literally thinking about sowing the seeds of your ideas so they grow. This could be a spiritual symbolism there, but also it could indicate, like, if you're literally a farmer and you're listening to this reading, it could be that you're deciding to film what it is that you do, so people have more of an idea of how much hard work goes into what you do, and the cycles with the seasons, the rules, regulations, all of those things. And it could be that you help people in some way understand the farming industry, or it could be that you are just letting them know what it is that you do, and you put it online. For example, it could be on a social media platform that actually pays you finances for videos, so it feels like a second stream of income. So please apply it to your situation. Not everybody out there is farmer, so I feel it's very important for you to almost look at what you do and see how you can sometimes benefit other people by sharing your knowledge. And I feel this could lead to a second stream of income for some of you if that's what you're trying to do. Because a lot of you, I feel, brainstorming ideas, really thinking about the next steps of your career path. Some of you will be very creative over the next coming weeks and months regarding the next steps, and you're putting things in motion. It's like you're in this period right now of getting all the knowledge before you take the steps. And we have that strength card energy, which indicates a lot of you, you are someone who's very capable, very strong. And I feel this is self-discipline, so that you focus on being organized, create a strategy, be clearer in your intentions. But also, I feel there's an energy here of schedule. So some of you may promise yourself to have some sort of really rigid schedule, because the King of Swords can be a little bit serious sometimes, a little bit strict with oneself. So I feel a lot of you, you're compartmentalizing things in order to make sure that everything runs smoothly, so all components are coming together. But I feel like you want to be in order, you want to be decisive and clear, and I feel, you are destined for a position of authority. If you're not in one already, I see you on that trajectory. And if you're an entrepreneur, I feel some of you may be a little bit concerned about the industry you're in. You may see rules, regulations, policies changing. You may even see things fluctuating at this time and be noticing that some people are either closing their businesses, or you may see people being made redundant, for example. And the Strength card is like, you have the power of resilience and that you are going to go from strength to strength. You know, there is such a focus. I'm actually seeing glasses in the water right now as well, to tie in with the energy that I'm being given. So this could be that your detailed focus and your tenacity sees progress. Your dedication and commitment sees victory there as well. Now, of course, the Strength card can also indicate that you're looking at healthier working practices. It's often a self-care card, so it can indicate that you're making sure body, mind, and soul, that you erect healthier boundaries in the working environment, especially if you're an entrepreneur, having a healthy cutoff point. You know, when you run your own business, it's like 24/7. So it's really important to get some rest and not spread yourself too thin. I see a lot of you, because there's so many swords here, you're mentally exhausted, okay? Of course, physically as well, but I really get a sense of like you've had a lot on your to-do list, a lot on your mind, and I definitely see that things are going to get easier. Some of you, there is a transition here towards something greater, and you're investigating it right now. And also with the Strength card, I want you to be aware that this card indicates some of you are implementing some new bold and daring ideas that you want to launch in the new year, because I feel you're in the thinking stage of something, and I feel like you're maintaining a position. I don't see this energy of a lot of you walking away from the industry that you're in. I see a lot of you kind of like hitting some sort of plateau and feeling like, what else? So you may negotiate a better deal in your working environment, or have an appraisal over the next 6 weeks where you have a very important meeting with your boss if you work for a company, and ask them, can you grow in the company? Is there any room for maneuver? And there could be a new project that you're offered because of that, and it may like change your status in some way. Maybe that you figurehead like a new department, so that's why it feels fresh and new, even though you've hit a certain level. I mean, you're at king level there, and this is not a gender specific reading, but we've got page level here as well. So this could be that, you know, it's a new startup. For some of you, it could be, if you're an entrepreneur, it's a branching out, you know, trying out a new idea. And for some of you, it could be that you stay in the same company, but, you know, there is a new office or a new title or new contracts. I do see a merge energy going on. So there could be news of a merger going on, either if you're an entrepreneur, or if you work for a company. There could be something going on behind the scenes that will actually invest more money into the company that you work in or for. And I definitely see that it will transform the way the company works long term, and it's for the better, okay? But if you're getting any new contracts, I would say read the fine print, because anything that is signed, it is a fresh new start, and it nullifies anything that went before. So if you have bonuses, benefits, or anything like that that you are accustomed to in your previous contract, I would definitely say keep your eyes peeled for that, because it is not guaranteed, or you know, you cannot assume that, oh, I always got this, so therefore I'm a bit surprised that I didn't get this. I feel, you know, just make sure it's in the contract, because anything that's not in the contract, there could be an energy of people pulling rank with that contract later on. Okay, so that's coming through strongly. Now, of course, we have the frame, okay, and it says there, steady income. And it says organizing, there you go, accomplishments, art and design, home-oriented, and self-employed. A lot of you are in the mindset of, you know, setting something up for 2025 to be self-employed. And I feel, you know, you're following your heart there. You obviously have the heart as your outcome energy, and the death card indicates change. But because there is this sense of duality about some of you, I feel there's an energy of you kind of like doing something stable, long-term, perhaps has a contract, but also doing something else on the side, a second stream of income. For some of you, it could be real estate. I mean, I'm not seeing real estate energy here. Doesn't mean it's not there. It just means that you may be, you know, working in that industry, and there are going to be some changes there, and you'll have to look into those a little bit further, okay? Eventually, it will be beneficial, these changes, but as with everything, when there's change, people start to get a little bit grouchy. Nobody likes change. Humans don't like change unless they're in control of it, of course, but I feel, you know, they will be beneficial when you navigate the changes is what I see, okay? Now, also, for some of you, this is really, because it's in the resistance position, it can indicate some of you are a little bit worried about finances at this time of year. You're trying not to emotionally spend or overspend. You're looking at your budget. King of Swords tells me you have a strict budget, and because we have the Knight of Pentacles there, a lot of you, it's like, how can I increase my finances? So you may actually decide to do a little bit of decluttering in your organization phase. Even in the home space, you may look at things that you've outgrown, that you really don't want anymore. And instead of just throwing them away, I feel like you may put pre-loved items online and get extra money for them as well. So some of you may be thinking about that. If you're an artist or you're creative, because the frame, I feel there's something here that you're creating and that, you know, someone wants to put it on their wall or someone wants it. I feel a lot of you creative endeavors are going to bring in extra income. Some of you may think of like seasonal work at this time is what I'm seeing there. But, you know, it's almost like I see you all in this period of review, especially since we're in December, moving into January. It's like you looking at what you've accomplished, and sometimes you can be a little bit critical on yourself. This is a harsh card, so it can indicate that, you know, you're very strict with yourself sometimes, and sometimes you don't realize how far you've come, because this card is in the resistance position, and this card is all about accomplishments, and you've actually accomplished a lot, but you may not see it that way, especially when you feel that you haven't hit a target. Now, I do see you being very productive, and I do see you finishing anything that you start. So you do hit your target with that Death card energy, and with the Page of Swords, it's like you're ready for the next thing. So I feel you should be really proud of yourself. And for some of you, I'm getting this energy of some sort of certification or an award or recognition. It could even be like Employee of the Month or Employee of the Year. Okay, something that you'll actually frame is what I'm seeing in the water. I'm being shown like a scroll in the water right now, so it feels very official, but it's something that perhaps you'll frame. Okay, and it's connected to your career. Even if you are, you know, upskilling or getting a new qualification to open new doors when it comes to new finances, I feel you'll frame this because you should be really proud of yourself that you actually, you know, passed and things have been challenging. It feels a lot of you have been doing more than one thing and you've been feeling like pushed and pulled in many different directions. Now, the Knight of Pentacles, of course, it's in the resistance position at first, but anything in the resistance position, it does go into the upright. So I would say the month of December may be a little bit hard on your bank balance. Could be that you're gifting during this time. It could be that also, you know, you're keeping a tight rein on your finances. You will be able to save a little bit more in January is what I'm seeing there. And I feel with the Knight of Pentacles, it means that you work really hard for your finances and you are going to see evidence that your finances will increase. So I feel some of you, if you haven't had a small increase in your finances with inflation, I feel you will be having that very, very soon. It may even come in the month of January there for you. But I feel something financial is being offered to you. So if you haven't received a bonus, perhaps, I feel this is something that could come your way in January. Some of you may have been expecting it in the month of December, but it may come a little bit delayed, okay? And let me just pull a card on that, because that's not going to resonate for everyone. I'm also seeing, this is on a personal level, okay? For some of you, if you've purchased something for somebody as a gift and you haven't received it and you're like, oh, it's delayed, please check your account to make sure they took the money for it, because there's something in the energy here of like something not arriving, even though I've just seen the word arrived in the water. I feel it will arrive, of course, but I feel there could be like you made the payment or you made the order, but they didn't take the money, so they may not have processed it, so you may need to chase it. I'm actually hearing as well, very famous song, Lady Gaga, Telephone. Okay, so either you have to chase this so that it comes in on time. I feel this is personal. It could even be something that you have delivered to your work. If the money has gone through maybe that's why I'm seeing the sign arrived. So it could be that if you've delivered something to your working environment, maybe it's arrived and it's just been misplaced somewhere. So just chase it up. That's what I would say there. So I'm just going to step away from that energy because it's going to be very precise there. The song is still playing. Thanks so much, I'm truly grateful. Okay, so some of you, if you're chasing invoices or, you know, someone hasn't paid you, I feel like you may have to give this person a little bit of a nudge. I feel like they've got a lot on their plate. That doesn't excuse the fact that they haven't paid up, or, I mean, even if you work for a company and you're in the accounts department, you're like, this hasn't been paid. I feel like you may have to chase something just before the year is out. It will come in, is what I see, and you'll have to check it over, and it may even be like last minute. And it's almost like if you have a certain last day of the month to work and you're like, oh, of course, I'm just about to leave in 20 minutes and they've just sent it through. Of course they did. I feel this energy in your reading, like you may have to do something literally as you're about to go out the door, and it may be a bit frustrating, but I feel it's really great that you get it done because everything gets processed. And then I feel there's actually someone, especially if you work for a company, there's someone who's monitoring work at this moment in time. People are just being kept an eye on. And I feel it's not just, you know, this micromanaging energy. Okay, I feel it's more that there are some changes going on in your industry or in your working environment. And I feel there is an energy of an opportunity coming up. And I feel like you're being watched for an opportunity, especially since that Page of Swords often means to be headhunted or to, you know, almost like be tested a little bit, or, you know, someone's being vigilant. They're kind of keeping an eye on you to see how you're kind of like working in your industry, and they want to offer you an opportunity, because this Knight of Pentacles basically means there is money in the works, but it hasn't arrived yet, but it will, and it'll be coming towards you like just towards the end of the 6 weeks is what I'm seeing there. Okay, so now I'm only picking the upright in the decks, just so you're aware. Now some of you, okay, I'm getting a couple of energies, and this is only if you've come to this reading. The Tower can indicate a shock. Some of you may have been shocked in your industry. There may have been some redundancies, for example. Some of you, because the Two of Cups has arrived here, it could be that your partner has been made redundant and you're a little bit nervous or worried about how things are going to go. I actually see that there is a contract or a proposal on the table for your partner. I feel... Thanks so much, I'm so grateful. I'm being given like 3 weeks after the beginning of January. So I would guess the 3rd week of January. So yeah, 3rd, 4th week of January, I feel there could be some sort of interview that your partner has or you have that puts you in line with this new job, okay? Something that's a little bit more stable, actually, is what I'm being given there. Now, the other energy I've got coming through, because I am sort of clarifying this card here, it can indicate with the Tower energy that some of you have been feeling a little bit stuck in a rut, and you've reached a certain plateau in your career sector. Okay, you may have felt that you got to a certain level, but there's no room for maneuver. You've hit a bit of a glass ceiling, and you used to love this place, or you still kind of like it, and you like the people who are there, or you kind of like the way it works. But the Three of Swords is like you feel that, you know, you're not growing in this kind of industry or this environment anymore. Some of you may feel like you need to get out of a toxic environment as well. You may actually suddenly decide to leave. And it can also coincide with something else being offered to you. Okay, the Knight of Pentacles actually means, you know, an opportunity comes in that is financially related, and it, you know, is a reward from the universe for your determination, your skill set. And I feel, you know, the Tower is like, this could be a surprise. So, you know, surprises are not always negative when it comes to the Tower. You know, we've got the Three of Swords there, which could indicate, you know, it's challenging, whatever it is that you're going for, whether it's an interview. And we've got the Two of Cups, which is always a proposal or something else being offered that's in alignment with your heart. Okay. Now, the other energy I'm being given, and I don't like to mention this, but of course I have to, some of you may have gone through a shock in your personal life right now, and you're just trying to keep your mind on other things, okay? Some of you could be grieving a part of your life or a person or a situation, and I'm sending you a huge hug out there. So much love. Of course, no words can really comfort. Things will ebb and flow as they are meant to, but do know that I send so much love and positive vibes to you all. I do see that, of course, good things are coming towards you, and I feel that launching yourself into work will help you throughout a lot of the day, but of course it will still be on your mind. And I feel like you do have an ally in your industry or in the company that you work for. If you're an entrepreneur and you work by yourself, I feel some of you, there is an energy here of either a forum or some sort of networking event that you go to and you strike up a conversation with someone who really cares, someone who actually, makes a difference in the industry, but also makes a difference to you and the conversation that you have. And you may be going through some very similar things, not the same, but I feel there could be a bonding in a friendship that occurs there too. Now, I've got so many energies coming through for these 3 cards. It's like someone may suddenly decide to leave the company that you work for. If you're an entrepreneur, this could be actually someone who works for you, who you really love and trust. And it could be that it's a complete shock that they're actually moving on. I mean, I feel there's a lot of love here, like you feel proud that they're like, I'm getting this energy of them like being a little bird or a fledgling, and it's like, okay, fly. It's like you have mentored this person or given them opportunities, and now they are fleeing the nest. And of course, it can be a sad time, and you really love and respect this person, and it has been a bit of a shock, but you acknowledge that all things change, and it can also present you a little bit of frustration that now you got to go searching for someone else who can replace this person, okay? And of course, some of you may actually hear of some shocking redundancies as well during this period, and it could be someone that you really get on very well with who leaves the working environment, and it may just make other people feel a little bit like on shaky ground. But because we've got the Page of Swords here, a lot of you, especially with that 4 swords, it can indicate that, you've been thinking about leaving a place for a long time intuitively, and it could be that you leave before there is any sort of situation, is what I see. But I feel a lot of you, something big is ending in your industry, and I feel you're just being vigilant and keeping your eye on it. I don't see anything negative here, is what I'm seeing, because I'm clarifying something's in the resistance position, which means the Tower, you avoid any major disaster there. But I feel it could make you feel just a little bit nervous. So I will pull a card at the end there just to highlight your position in this, because I actually see that you are in a good starting position for you to move forward. Now, the 4 swords is a card of, taking a step back, resting, relaxing, okay? So a lot of you, if you've got a bonus, I feel, this is about you winding down the year and really thinking things through. You had a 3 of Swords come out there, and we got the 4 of Swords, so this is recovery. Some of you may have walked away from a very toxic environment, and you're recovering from that. Some of you, it's been a really tough year, and you just need a massage and relax, okay? But the 4 of Swords, it can indicate that you just need to take a break, okay? You need to get things clear in your head. When you get a 4 of Swords energy, it can indicate that, you've been worrying about something, and it's in the resistance position, which basically means there's nothing really to worry about, but it's not going to stop you from worrying. I feel taking a break, or taking your mind off work for a little while, even a day or a couple of hours, I feel like you come back renewed and revitalized with lots of new ideas, because I do feel this energy of mental fatigue. I also see this card as a card of proceeding with integrity. Your perseverance is paying off. There is actual kind of reward and, undeniable evidence that your hard work is paying off, with new money coming in or some sort of increase in your finances. And you're the sort of person, you do your best. You never leave a project undone. And I feel like your dedication and your efforts, it will all pay off. So I definitely see that there may have been slow moving progress in your career sector, but it's still progress. And as you close out the year, you're going to be able to see more of that, because sometimes when we're in the middle of it, it's hard to really map progress or see how far we've come. But when you have a moment to sort of sit back and relax and think, wow, that was an intense year, that happened, this happened, I did that. And then you start realizing, oh my gosh, all those things happened. Oh, okay. And now I feel, it's about you being really proud of yourself, because this card, if you can see it how I see it, it's like looking back. Looking at the things that worked, things that didn't work. And I feel, you have an incredible mind. So a lot of you are eager to start something new, start the new year. You're calculating something. If you're an entrepreneur, I feel, this is you having a job that you love and really expanding on that. And there's opportunities to diversify here. These new ideas will change everything. And I feel it will increase your wealth. And if you're in a company, I feel loving what you do is very important. So some of you may be looking around for alternative opportunities, and you may even negotiate that better deal. As I said, it's like, if you have a look at the way I see it, you've got a King of Swords here. This is your position. And you may want to do something new in your industry. So you may talk to your boss, for example, about a new project, and the money deal is on the table. So it's about negotiating that better deal. Some of you, you may be happy where you're at and say, okay, I do a lot. It's been an intense year. You've picked up excess work because there's been some redundancies, and you may feel, you know what, actually, I'm going to ask if there is an opportunity to staircase my finances. And, someone once said to me, don't be afraid of the word no. Ask, because what's the worst? They can say no, and you're not afraid of that word. In fact, that word is very important because it states a boundary as well. So I feel a lot of you may have promised yourself the word no is going to be used a lot in 2025 for many different reasons, okay? Now, of course, we have the Four of Swords. A lot of you, this is you taking a break or just relaxing and, winding down the year. Actually on a high, because, this gold star keeps kind of glowing at me right now. I feel this is about you feeling content. Some of you also may be a little bit nervous about finances and what is to come ahead, but I actually see that there is an increase in your finances. It may be a small increase for some of you, but an increase all the same. I do see you will staircase. If you're looking for a role, as I said, you're out of work right now, I see that there is something that pays more money, but the status is different. And it's going to be no time at all between you starting and actually staircasing to another status. I see you changing status 2 more times in 2025. So it's almost like you move up 1, 2, 3 pay grades is what I see by the end of 2025. Now, of course, the Four of Swords can indicate a period of rest, recuperation, and needing to heal, but also this could be like a little bit of a nudge from your body to slow down, okay? Take time to assess things. Don't rush into anything. Get all the agreements, if there's new agreements or contracts on the table. I feel a lot of you are in paperwork mode. Some of you could be doing taxes, for example, receipts. Some of you could be outsourcing or calculating when expiry dates happen on, contracts or service providers, getting insurance, for example, if you're an entrepreneur, legalizing things. I just feel like you are very cerebral over the next coming weeks and months, whether you actually work in your own role as your own boss or whether you are actually working for a company. A lot of you may be thinking, I need to start or launch an entrepreneurship, and it's something you will definitely do in 2025. Now we've got the heart, of course, so this is an indication that you're following your heart, you're doing something that you love. It says here, having a job you love, counselor, guide. Some of you, because there is a very cerebral energy here, you may be very interested in the mind, or you may be exploring the mind. Some of you may decide to become a counselor, or you are one already. Some of you may have been ready to practice being a counselor or, a psychotherapist, and you may have been in training. So you get your qualification, you frame it on the wall. This is literally what some of you could be doing right now. And, you are easing into a new role, or you're easing into your own practice. For some of you, this is about getting new knowledge to help other people, or it could be that you're going to have some sort of important meeting over the next coming weeks that helps you staircase when it comes to your career options. But it says emotional spending, joint finances, being supported, and that song is coming up again. Now, it is Lady Gaga's telephone, but I'm not really sure what the message is. I feel it's either someone you're ignoring in the working environment, because I think that song is like someone trying to contact Lady Gaga, but she's out partying and she's like, stop calling me, I can't hear you, look, I'm having fun. So it could be that, you're so busy that you are trying not to have any distractions at this time. Or it could be that, as we close out the year, you feel that it's time to disconnect and that you are trying to focus more on your family, your friends, your soul tribe, having fun. For some of you, it could be someone who keeps micromanaging you and calling you and asking you, where are you? Or can you show me the work you've done? Equally, if you're a boss, it could be that you are actually chasing somebody and finding out where they are slipping off to. I feel a majority of you, it's having to chase for either a payment, if you're a freelancer, for example, or it could be, you may have to chase someone for some piece of information that you need in order to do your part of the work. It's like there's a break in the chain. So the other energy I get from this, either you're going to hear that song, and when you hear that song, there is some sort of news comes in that changes everything. But I need to pull a card on this to see what it is for you, okay? So Page of Swords, news coming in, something that will really catch your attention, that you'll be curious about and really will make you think. For a lot of you, it could be connected to a new project or a new endeavor. Some of you may even think about being like seconded to a different branch. You may be curious at this time about where else in the world could you work. Even if you're an entrepreneur, it could be that you are legally trying to set up new things in order to transfer your business overseas, and you're just getting the legalities of that, getting structure, because everything about your reading is like structure at this time. But definitely, Page of Swords is new ideas bubbling up, in a very explorative phase for you there as well. And of course, Page of Swords is an Aquarian card, so this can indicate that you're prioritizing your own needs at this time. You're curious as to where 2025 is going to take you, and I feel there's a lot of changes around you, but the majority of changes, I feel like you're going to love them, because the Death card is often, as one chapter closes, the next one, of course, opens. That's a very cliched way of looking at the Death card, but it can indicate that you're transitioning to something better, okay? You're being curious. You're allowing that playful spirit to come out because, of course, work, we're supposed to do it in order to pay taxes and all of those things. So it's the system. So I feel a lot of you are like trying to find structure in the system or trying to set up second streams of income in order to build your financial pile there. But the Death card, it can indicate that you're also looking at bad habits in the working environment. I feel a lot of this energy for some of you, if you're thinking about going somewhere new, it could be that you feel that your skill set is not fully utilized. You may feel unfulfilled potential in some way, and you may feel that your skills are overlooked or you're unappreciated. But just as you give in your notice, I feel they come in with the, oh, please don't leave, what is it that I can do to tempt you to stay? And a lot of you, if you are leaving, I feel there's nothing more that they can really do or say. But the majority of you, it feels like you get an offer come in before you leave. So that's what's coming through there as well. So let me just pull a card on this Death card and also this Page of Swords, because I feel a lot of you are thinking about changing. There's this energy of like, what else could I do? Or what if I did this? How would life be different? Would the money be different? I feel there is an eagerness for you to utilize your mind, or, I feel you're a very good negotiator, so you get a better deal, contract perhaps, or Two of Swords, you've got a decision to make. And it could also be that you're trying to protect your inner peace, not have any distractions, because you really need to think about something, work something out, brainstorm, complete something. Okay, we've got a lot of difficult energy here. When I say difficult, it's actually quite positive. So we got another page there. So definitely some good news coming your way. Two of Swords is like feeling a little bit in between worlds, in a very cerebral energy, as I mentioned. The figure is blindfolded. So this means like you can't see the future. You don't know how things are going to go, but you feel a little bit defensive because, of course, economically things are a little bit volatile at the moment. But as you can see, this figure is about to discover new lands. That's the history of this card. This figure here wants to go over there and is unsure about the move, but there's nothing stopping this person from doing that. And of course, the waters are calm, and there's little stepping stones if they want those. So I feel this is about you kind of like moving into uncharted territory. If you're an entrepreneur, it could be that you're trying a new idea. You have no idea how it's going to go, but I feel it's going to be good news. For some of you, you could be offered a deal or a partnership, because there is a Emperor and an Empress there. So this can indicate, you know, working together, a partnership, or some sort of brand deal. It could be that you're being creative and having your business head on you there as well, trying to find out what's best for you to prioritize your own needs. And this rest or this time away from everything that you're doing gives you the opportunity to really kind of strategize. The Empress energy is to be very productive, of course, very creative. If you take these energies separately, then I feel this is about you making sure that you have a healthy working environment, that you're nurtured in your industry, and that you nurture your skills as well and build upon them. And the Emperor, of course, is about your 5-year plan. It's about being really strict with yourself. It's, you know, a marker of success, that you are going to be very successful, but also it can be that you have friends in high places who want to open new doors for you, or there is someone who is watching your work right now and they are talking behind the scenes about how to elevate you. Also, some of you could be thinking about family businesses, or, you know, it could be that you're thinking about becoming independent. That 7 of Swords is a very independent card. It often gets misconstrued and misunderstood there, because the figure is actually taking the weaponry from the army. This figure does not want to fight, so it could be that there's been some conflict in the working environment, or, you know, there may be some problems with like management if you work for a company, and you may see someone exit quite quickly is what I see there. But also I feel some of you are learning new things in order to be independent. This card is marching to the beat of your own drum. You know, this figure is misunderstood. You know, they are taking 5 swords. They could take 6, okay? But, you know, they are meaning to come back for those 2. So I would also say don't go too quickly. Measure your pace in the next 6 weeks. Otherwise, you may need to revisit something. And that 7 of Swords energy, I feel more than anything that this is about you becoming independent, or making an important and informed decision, a choice that is actually planned really carefully. And, you know, some of you, especially if you're giving in your notice suddenly, it could be that you're avoiding confrontation about this. And some of you, it could be that, you know, you're thinking about family. You've got family things on your mind right now, and you're hoping there's going to be no conflict. But with that Page of Cups, I feel something is being offered to you to follow your heart. And it could be that some of you, and don't shoot the messenger when I say this, it could be that some of you have family who have expectations of what they expect you to do. And it could be that actually you've kind of done that and you're feeling a little bit disassociated from it. And you're like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do this. I want to be creative. I want to be wild. I want to be free. I want to explore my options. So it could be that some of you are deciding to completely go off in another direction, and you're worried about maybe what your family or friends say about whatever it is that you do. But this is your life. This is your time to do whatever it is that you want. And I feel an offer that matches your desires comes right in. The fish always represents abundance. So I feel there is a nice surprise here for you. And something is being offered. You know, you've got 2 pages which represent good news coming in. Something you're going to be super curious about. And you may be calculating what it is that you want to do. I'm just being given an energy, and it may not resonate with everyone, but many, many years ago, I used to know this guy who he really wanted to do a very creative pursuit, okay, and dedicate his life to this job. But his mom in particular was like, no, you should study law. You need to become a lawyer, just like the rest of the family. And be serious, because you don't earn any money in that creative pursuit. So I get it. The mom was very like protective, a little bit worried, always supported whenever he did those creative things, because you could clearly see that he was meant to be in that industry that he really wanted to be in. And she was very supportive until it came to a serious career move. And she's like, no, it should be that you do this, because this is going to support you. Maybe do it later on, but right now follow this serious career. And, you know, all us friends were like, do what your heart desires. Just go for whatever it is you want to do, because you'll be unhappy. And ultimately, he chose to follow his mom's advice. And of course, many, many years later, he was like, I'm unhappy. I've got to a certain place in my life. Well, I just can't do this anymore. And he had a plot twist. And he was a little bit worried about what his folks said, okay, and what they would think about his move. And of course, they were a little bit like, concerned. But ultimately, they supported his endeavors because he kind of like erected a healthy boundary and was like, this is my time to do what I feel is right for my career. And suddenly he spun off into a different direction and became really well known in that industry because he was always destined to follow his heart and do that thing. So some of you may have been dealing with that, or maybe trying to have an important conversation with a family member about something that you really want to do, but you feel it's like either not accepted or it's not expected. And I feel, ultimately you're honoring your own needs, and I feel change is going to be very good for you. Okay, now I'm just going to pull some final cards for you, my beautiful Aquarians. Okay, there's quite a few there for you. We have free yourself. I get every message from my guides for a reason, and that little bit there came out for a reason too. So it says free yourself, okay? And it says work to pay off your debt and unlock your earning potential, open to prosperity, which I definitely see that you are. But if you've been feeling a little bit stuck in your industry, hit that plateau or that glass ceiling, or even if you're an entrepreneur and you've been doing something that really works, I feel like you're taking that with you, but you may be trying something new just to see how it goes, to kind of like inspire yourself. And we've got movement, so definitely career options moving you forward there. I feel there is an incredible energy around you. Thank you so much. I'm truly grateful. My guides are just showing me these cards in the water. The Four of Swords, the Death card, and the Strength card in that order. And I'm being given this sentence: rest so you may rise. Rest so you may rise. Okay, so that's a very important message. I definitely see that rest, maybe the Death card is like close out the year and take a rest finally, and then you will rise from there. So that's what's just come through there. Thanks so much. I'm so grateful. We have movement. Travel for work or getting a new job is possible now, but you'll be getting ahead. Okay, that did come up in your reading, and a lot of you, especially if you're an entrepreneur, you may be thinking about migrating your business overseas as well there. Got soul harmony, that matches that heart energy. It says here, find work that resonates with your true purpose, mission to fulfill. And I feel like this is you matching a vibration in 2025 that is going to be very lucrative indeed. Some of you, it's a creative endeavor. I mean, it could even be music. For some of you, for some of you, it could be something that you create very hands-on. But whatever it is, I feel that you're planning right now, all the ideas you have, they are going to transform your life and put you in a position to be at the top of your industry and increase your wealth there as well. Don't get me wrong, I see that it's going to be hard work, but when you do something you love, it doesn't really feel like hard work, okay? So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or ring before we close. Okay, so we have, we've got a button here, okay, and the button has a mushroom on it. So this can indicate that things have been a bit of a struggle this year, but there is growth in the dark. You're about to come out the other side there. Mushrooms also connect to toxic energy. So a lot of you are erecting healthier boundaries or healthier working practices to make sure that you adhere to your mental peace, your mental health, your emotional well-being, as well as your physical well-being. And of course, you may be moving away from toxic working environments or practices in order to take a new job elsewhere. Remember to recover, because people don't realize that a toxic work environment, it really messes with your energy and your nerves, and you can take that with you into a new environment expecting it almost to be the same when really it's not. So just watch out for that. But the mushroom, it represents growth. Okay, so I do see that there is going to be growth there. Oh yes, and you've got a plant pot and a little seedling that is starting to grow. So any new ideas, they are going to grow exponentially and bring in more wealth. This Trinket always connects to new money or new wealth or an increase in some way in your finances. And that little seed of an idea, it will grow. Even if you're staying where you are at, it can indicate that you're implementing new working practices to have a fresh new start or keep things interesting so that you can be noticed for a promotion or an opportunity that will staircase your opportunities and, of course, your bank balance. Okay, so I'll leave it there, my beautiful Aquarians. I hope something resonates in this reading for you. Thank you so much, and love and light.